Hi, folks. I will tell you Happy Easter. Miss Katie will tell you Happy Easter.
Happy Easter, guys.
Because it is the day our Lord has risen, and so it's a joyful day in our house. Other than the fact that I'm ripping up kudzu roots. This started last year, but much more interesting thing than kudzu roots. What do we have here today, Toots?
The longest trench.
Now take a look at the front cover there, Toots. What do you know what those helmets are called?
I used to.
Pickle helmets.
That's it.
So it's interesting. You have guys in a trench in 1914, because at this point there weren't trenches were just starting, and pickle helmets were still in use. So kind of interesting that they would choose to do that as a representative picture. We've got this game. I got this game for myself after Christmas because Miss Katie and I had a miscommunication on my Christmas list and we didn't get it then. So we then got the game, and the reason we got the game was because Karen or Karine Engelman said, "Smitty, I like your reviews." Only like? I think he meant love. I think he actually said love or something like that. I'm gonna be
Robert.
I'm gonna be sorry. But actually he said, "Hey, this seems like a game you would like." And that was enough for me to say, well, okay, well, somebody who's followed me for a long time and who I've talked to in gaming, and so. But it was a game we said we might as well get. So what have we done today to celebrate Easter?
Besides pull up kudzu roots?
Move leaves. We've moved 14 cans of yard waste down over the hills so far today. And but what did we get Miss Katie to work in outside at night? What did we get you the other day?
Oh, our new hot tub?
We got a new hot tub. We got an inflatable hot tub, and we're going to see how that works. And so we're going to try that out tonight after we watch Ice Road Truckers. And after we do that and get in the hot tub, I should be done with Ebb and Flow, and then we can start the longest trench. Yay! So, all right, folks. As always, we say, I thank you. I will thank you again when I get ready to do my part of this. And the ever lovely bride of mine, of course, is always supposed to do.
So lovely and talented.
Lovely and talented. At least I forget that as well. But
Okay.
bye-bye, folks. Thank you as always. Good afternoon, folks. We've got a new game. It's The Longest Trench. We bought this one, so it wasn't sent to us. This is by Udo Grebe Game Design, UGG. They also did the Sevastopol game, which we have yet to play. Imagine that. More games than we had time to play. I should note they straddle the line between Euro games and war games. In my opinion, the degree of work they put in, their sense of history puts them more in the war game camp as far as I'm concerned. The Longest Trench breaks World War I down into 20 battles. And we'll look at the 20 battles here. They're the 20 battles that World War I is broken down into. They also have 5 alternative battles which will replace any one of the battles up there by a die roll, but that's a different thing. There are 108 game tokens, and there are also game dice. So, okay, that starts out well, doesn't it? The expansion includes 5 other battles, and standoff cards and map board, along with cardstock, battle board, all those kind of things. Now, battles are fought in chronological order. So, of course, you'd start with the invasion of Belgium, Tannenberg, Marne, Race for the Sea, and that concludes 1914. Now, let's look at some of the other parts. There's the game cards. Game cards sometimes may not always marry up completely with an army or whatever, but they take a little historical license, but all good as far as I'm concerned. You see combat points for the card. That is the strength for a battle. It tells you what icon that army belongs to. There are also extra combat points. Extra combat points are for specified periods. Like in 1914, the German army gets 2 extra combat points for any one of the 4 battles that we see here for the invasion of Belgium, Tannenberg, Marne, and Race for the Sea. So you get that way. In 1915, they only get it in the second, for the second possible battle. In 1916, only for the next one. I'm a little surprised they don't get any extra combat points for the Kaiserschlacht down here in March 1918. I wasn't really certain why they don't get one for that. That's kind of surprising to me. I think I will drop them a note on that. Then you got the battle track. The battle track is, and of course, I ripped this off their web page. I would instead, we can see it here. I'll go out a little bit. It's here that you can see that it goes to both sides. It goes to both the Central Powers and to the Allied Powers. So it shows you here, the battle track shows you what each battle stands for. Of course, it names the battle. Extra cards for the attacker on that one, the attacker icon, and then possible for naval and artillery hits. For up to 1917, it's 1 to 3 provides a hit, and from 1917 onwards, 1 through 4 is a hit, and that gives you the sea battle as well. You also notice that there are possible winner extra cards, and I'll do Deus Ex Machina here. Winner extra cards should you win a battle. Here it is extra cards for the attacker, and here is the artillery hits. So, okay, all makes sense so far, right? Well, I think it all makes sense so far. Then we've got here, how do you start? Well, up on the track marker, there's a yellow marker that starts here, and it will go different directions dependent upon the outcome of battles. Now, a battle and I didn't bring that over. There is a game mat. Well, there's a game mat if you buy the expansion. If not, you put down on the table like here, say like here, for the three possible different fronts. You shuffle the bonus deck. You pull 6 of those at random and place those in the main deck. The other bonus cards you kind of toss to the side, and they're out of the game. You shuffle the main deck, pull the top 9 for supply, and you've got your game deck. A land game turn, well, you prep for combat. There's combat, and the admin part, or they call it the aftermath. C is just different. Yet you start a turn by placing an army or fleet card. Now, in the game rule book, the example on page 8 is pooched. And I kept looking and going, wow, I know how to do math, and their math doesn't work. Well, I checked online, and they changed it, that the British infantry there, which is a 4 in my rule book, has been changed to a 3, so the math now works. The example, as I kept looking at it, made me want to pack up my old kit bag because we were most unhappy. Combat is simple. Once you have the right example, nudge, nudge, wink, wink, as Monty Python would say, you roll 3 dice and allocate any hits you wish. Post 1917, again, it's 1-4. You reveal, if you use the support card, defender reveals first. You add up the combat points, support, possible artillery, and any extra combat values, again, from the colored squares. So you add up all that, get your value, compare them, and determine who wins the battle. Remember, there are 3 fronts. If you win 2 or 3, you win the battle, and you get the points, the victory points for winning said battle. So there would be 2 for that, and so you would get the battle for that from the 3 fronts. Pretty easy, pretty simple as far as I'm concerned in terms of sense. The game scale and time scale are a bit abstract. I think the rule book and the game board are generally winners, although the rules are satisfactory, but perhaps a little dense due to being slightly different. Big up check for the variants here and the standoff battles that allow you to skip a battle and the use of alternative ones. So my conclusion, nice overall components, obviously lots of thoughts. Writing's the weakest part, and it may be a translation issue. Note for Arno, my grandfather was also gassed in World War I, the only Smith to ever go bald. According to his medical records, and I've got his voluminous correspondence with the Veterans Administration, he had both phosgene, mustard, and chlorine. So we understand that. And of course, he was the only Smith to ever go bald in the family. So let's talk about books. We have 2 books we're going to talk about here today as we walk over the things. The Fall of the Ottomans. Excellent book. Simply an excellent book. Want to very much consider this one. It helps you understand why the Middle East is such a goat screw that it is now. The second book, with all due apologies to, maybe it's B.H. Liddell, but From the Other Side of the Hill. Well, this is Germany's Western Front, 1914. It's from a college in Canada. Very neat little book. We reviewed it for Armor Magazine. You need to consider it because it starts to tell you how things were already running off the rails for the German in terms of they were communicating even worse to each other with adjacent armies than the Allied powers were. So, quick and easy one, folks. Looks like it's going to be fun. We'll find out. And as always, thank you, and you all have a blessed day. Bye-bye.